Hello and welcome back to another episode of Chillin Buildin with Spanj. I apologise immediately because I have a stinking cold at the moment, so if I sound a bit funny and nasally, that's why. Also, further apologies for not having very much Empyrion content up over the last week or so. Work has been stupid busy, plus I've not been very well. It's all culminated in the perfect storm of me not getting anything done, so sorry about that. But we're here, as always, on Chillin Buildin, and I just want to show you what I've done off camera quickly before switching to a build sequence that I want to show you. This is the bar, so this is probably one of the first building rooms that I've built into this base that has no real practical reason and is purely aesthetic. However, it is a character for the Syndicate base. This is, after all, a pirate base, and it wouldn't be complete without a bar where shady dealings can go on. I even built a little booths where we can have Han Solo and Chewbacca sitting here talking about making the castle run. You know, there's going to be enough credits flying over these tables to make the authorities cry, so that's what I was going for. Upstairs we've got a bit of VIP lounge, some more booths, some sofas obviously, otherwise it wouldn't be very VIP, and this leads out onto the balcony, which you can go and have a look over the base from, well, the landing strip at least. Giant defense tower there, one of many to come, and once it is finished you'll be able to see over the rest of the base over here as well. I'm going to put something more interesting things on these roofs eventually so that they don't just look completely flat. But anyway, that's what I've done off camera. Didn't record it because it's all pretty straightforward, mostly just deco blocks, some texturing and painting. So I hope you're not too upset with me for not showing you this build, but I'm pretty sure you could figure it out for yourselves, to be honest. Anyway, what I did want to show you today in the build section is what I did to the front of the base. Well, not the front of the base, the main entrance of the base. That's what it's called, the main entrance of the base. I'm drugged up to the nines right now, so I can't speak, think, or do anything clearly. Apologies. But the main entrance of the base, I'll just switch over to the build phase now and we'll see what we did there. notice there, but yes, it did take me 3 attempts to build this without having it falling down. Obviously suspending large amounts of combat steel from the roof. It doesn't have any support, so it's rather fragile. In fact, if I turn the I need to turn my HUD back on. If I turn the structural integrity on, you can see it's pretty much all right on the edge of structural integrity. If I add any more blocks to that, it will just collapse again. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out in the end. I was going for something really quite random and strange, but in the end it turned out quite symmetrical with the steel texturing and the color scheme. I think it looks pretty cool, but by all means let me know what you think in the comments. As always, it would be great to get your feedback. I like these new light panel textures that I put on these light columns as well. I think they're a really great addition to the game. What you didn't see me add down there were these obviously deco blocks, the welcome signs on the stairs there, and I've also dotted around sentry guns. But have I dotted around sentry guns? Yes, I have. It's really difficult to see them because everything's so dark up there, which is very much on purpose, and you can see one over there and over there probably. The 2 rooms on the side of this, I haven't done anything with their blank canvases at the moment, but faction comms I'm going to turn into a room basically full of LCD screens where we can leave messages for each other while we're offline, put in faction wide communiques, notice boards, that sort of thing. Induction center is going to basically be where new players to the faction come to get geared up, so that'll essentially just be armor lockers, containers, faction rules, that sort of thing, and essentially they can go and get tools, weapons, armor, and stuff like that to get them going. That's after they escape or get released from the prison, of course. But that's pretty much what I've done to the front of the base, all textured, painted in the syndicate colours. Up here again is another blank room. I'm not quite sure what to do with this yet, and on the other side as well I need to do something over here. Although interestingly I didn't show you earlier, but there is a side entrance door here into the VIP lounge. I thought it was fitting considering this is my office, and I'm going to want to be able to get out of here and go and get a drink very quickly. So there we go. One of the other things I wanted to show you guys is the greenhouse, the gardens. So I'm going to switch to another build section now and show you how I built, not all of it, I'm going to show you how I built the first part of it, because essentially after that it's rinse and repeat. So I switch over to the build section now. Okay, so this is the greenhouse. I didn't want to show you everything that I did to build it because we'd be here forever. It took a very long time to build, basically, but it was also very repetitive, which is why I didn't think it would be particularly great to just go through the entire build sequence for this one. But here it is. This is the kitchen, greenhousey, garden thing, whatever you want to call it. But essentially what I wanted, I didn't want just a big giant rectangular warehouse full of grow pots. I wanted to do something a little bit more unique. And so I thought of these like hydroponic pods that you saw me build there, and these are basically like these greenhouse things. They're pretty small, compact, but I think they look pretty neat. They were absolute sod to build, they really were. The problem was I didn't want to make them too big, okay, and with grow pots you need a 3-block space, 4-block space, I suppose, actually, if you think about it. In order to have just one grow pot, needs to be 4 blocks in total height. So 1, the grow pot itself, 2, the plant, 3, the grow light, and 4, what the grow light sits on. And in this space here, I've tried to keep those 4 block height almost down to just, well, it looks like only 3. Basically, I've tried to keep it as low profile as possible, and it was really difficult to do that because the glass panels that you see on the roof here, you think that maybe they're on the same block height as the grow lights. They're not. They're on the one above, which means actually they're suspended with no support. This triangular block that I'm pointing at now, just above that is a really small ramp block. Let me just show, if I can show you which one it is. It's that one down here, ramp bottom A. On top of that slope there, and it's that tiny block there that is actually attaching all this glass from one end to the other. And I've got the same on that side as well, a ramp block bottom A that's holding all this glass in place, and that glass is in turn holding the concrete wall blocks that I've got the grow lights on. Structural integrity, actually not that bad considering. It's a little bit weak in the middle, as you'd expect, I guess, but actually, all things considered, it's not too bad. I thought, and actually it did. I had about 3 of these collapse. Grow pots in situ, the entire building collapsed. It was so annoying, and the reason it took me so long is because I had to just replace all these grow plots every single time. The first one that I built, which was this one here, I filled with fiber plants because that's obviously what we were running low on. I couldn't build the grow plots. I had to just keep growing more fiber plants in order to keep replacing the grow plots, and each time slightly revising the build of these pods so that they wouldn't collapse. If we have a quick look outside, from outside I put these support struts actually under the grow pots themselves, and they, without them it would collapse. Basically, as simple as that. It's incredible how these little support struts make so much difference. But the front end isn't too bad because it's obviously connected directly to the ground, to the main building there. I wanted to make them appear to be off the ground as much as possible, floating almost, and these small pillars and support struts help me do that. So yeah, that's so far the greenhouse plots. Let me take you back inside. So inside, what you've noticed is I've put signs up, and each pod is responsible for growing a different thing. So we've got corn, aloe vera over here, plant protein, which are those weird things that you need for, I think you need them for small medkits. Pear things and plant fiber in the actual pods. Now I have actually done a giant rectangular greenhouse for the grow pots, which I wanted to avoid, but I realized to grow the amount of food that we wanted, I'd need to build so many of those damn little pods. I just got really annoyed with it, so I did build a big rectangular greenhouse, but I tried to make it a little bit nicer. I put some angled glass in here, glass roof ceiling thingamajigs, and it's actually in the shape of a T, capital T, rather than just a big rectangle. So at least it's a little bit different. But yeah, this wasn't wholly difficult to build. As you can imagine, it was just a giant rectangle. Oxygen wise, yeah, we got full oxygen penetration throughout the entire building and all the pods, and there's no leaks. Everything's pretty nice. What I think really turned out well are these like curved oval sort of corridors into the pods themselves. It almost looks like the pods could take off, detach, take off, be replaced, which I think that was really cool. But yeah, and then obviously everything links to more than enough fridges and food processors. I didn't even know what to do with all these fridges and food processors. Probably only ever going to use maybe 2 or 3 of these out of the lot, but thought I'd fill the room up anyway. But there we have it. the garden, kitchen, greenhouse thing. Anyway, I think that's going to be everything for this episode, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed the builds. As always, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.